DL Hughley, you with us now?
I am indeed. How you doing, man?
I have to tell you, the unmitigated gall to not even get to the truck. What was going on that was so important?
Right. I was at the NAB Awards, Marconi Awards. So, and you know, I was nominated for the third time and didn't win. So I could have come here a long time ago.
So
but,
wait a minute, you didn't even win?
It's good to see you. I did not even win. No, I didn't at all.
Man, I mean.
Yes, do it.
Hey, listen, I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here with me. I had the artist formerly known as ... Kanye on. He la-la-la'd me a little bit, but he stood steadfast to opinions that I had always assumed he was too intelligent to hold. The anti-Semitism is raw and real. Other things about George Floyd was killed by fentanyl and other right-wingy, wacky ideas. What do you make of it?
I think that ultimately the only place you can hear the kind of rhetoric that Kanye espouses is in the farthest reaches of the blogosphere. If you sound like a white supremacist, you pretty much are one. And he seems to have a disdain for the same people they do, which is people that are black and people of and Jews. So I think he sounds a lot like a white supremacist under the auspices of free. It amazes me how every time I hear somebody that they tell me is a free thinker, he always talks about people who don't necessarily have the right to speak that freely. And so it's interesting, but I think that he sounds a lot like people that you see on the blogosphere. I don't know, you can't describe it to mental illness when he has access to some of the most powerful, rich, powerful white dudes in the world and some of the most popular artists in the world. So I don't know.
But two things can be true at the same time. Like, do I think his ideas mean he's sick, give him a pass? Absolutely not. But illness isn't an excuse. It's an explanation for what somebody may be dealing with.
I don't understand that. Here's the thing. Most people that are dealing with those kinds of problems don't have access to things. Most people who sound like Kanye West live under a bridge, and they push shopping carts and they say outlandish things. He has access to the finest medical health.
Yeah, but you got to want it. And let me tell you something.
I'm sure he ain't worried about the copay.
And let me
you
tell
do have to want it. And that's the problem.
You have to want it. And in this society, you know, he took me asking him if he's okay, because he's not okay, as me belittling him and me saying he's less than and me saying his points shouldn't be respected. And that is not his point. But it's not just what's coming out of his mouth that's wrong about other people. He threatens people. He threatened Rappaport, the actor. He threatened you. He said, I can afford to hurt you. I'm going to find where you are. How did you take that?
Well, you know, here's the thing. If you can afford to hurt me, if you can find out where my address is, you can find where a treatment center is. And if guys will drop you off to hurt me, they can stop by and pick up your prescription, too. Like, damn it, I live right next to a Walmart, so I'm sure that there's something there you could use. Ultimately, it's this. He gets to do what people indulge for him. I was done with Kanye when he said what he said about slavery. I think that the kind of half-hearted apology he gave on Piers Morgan was directed at a group of people. He has not said anything about the George Floyd family, and I think that that's insulting. But I think ultimately he's indulged a lot because he makes great music. I would rather hear a horrible artist, I mean a decent artist who was a good dude than a great artist who seems to espouse all the rhetoric of a horrible man.
Yeah, you know, one of my kids showed me a video of J. Cole, another tremendously successful hip-hop guy, in a song that seems to be all about Kanye and how he's now discovering what he's about, and he can't believe that he was ever a hero of his. It's difficult times, and we need people to be fighting the good fight and saying the right things.
Yeah, I think it's this. I think that when I see the things that are allowed, people allow, like now, it's obviously insulting the things he says and the things he does. But doing it on the auspices of free speech. Right. Like, look, who has he said anything about other than he has co-opted the pain of black people and the wardrobe of homeless people. And he's made a great living co-opting the pain of black people and the wardrobe of of homeless people.
Well, listen.
And if you think that's genius, okay.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your insight, and it's not always easy because these are very divided times. I want to have you back. Next time I'll have like a big limousine take you directly to where you need to be.
Instead of this porno van I'm in right here. Instead of this van. This is...
Porno van, just what I need. DL, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.